Stroke is a focal neurological deficit, which is of no other origin but cardiovascular in origin.
Depression is the leading cause of disability. Depression on its own is a persistent feeling of sadness, a persistent feeling of hopelessness.
Hello viewers, you're welcome to this week's episode on Health Watch on Advent Cable Network Nigeria. I am Angela Mwenze. According to the WHO, there are over 460 million people that have disabling hearing loss. And at this rate, it is projected that by 2050, nearly 2.5 billion people will have some degree of hearing loss globally, and at least 700 million will require hearing rehabilitation. Now, according to the International Center for Prevention of Deafness and Rehabilitation of Hearing Impaired Persons, in collaboration with the graduates of public health from the University of Liverpool in the United Kingdom, it is estimated that about 11.3 million Nigerians have some form of hearing impairment. That is quite high. That's about 6.7% of our population. What exactly are we doing wrong? If we've been doing something wrong, can we reverse it by learning how to take care of our ears? On the program today, we shall be learning about the ear, especially how to care for it. Our guest on the program today is Dr. Nsebong Ondie. She is an ENT, that's the ear, nose and throat surgeon at the National Hospital here in Abuja. You are welcome to the program.
Thank you very much.
It's good to finally have you here.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming. You know, the interesting thing is I don't have lots of women on the program. I think all through this program, I don't think I've ever had up to 5. Wow. So it's good to have one here today. So,
pleasure.
Yeah, good to have you here. So we're discussing the ear. Actually, what informed this program today was the statistics. That was shocking to see that 460 million people. I would think that was not possible when it came to things that had to do with the ear. But we're going to discuss about this. But let's just know from the beginning the functions of the ear before we start talking about the statistics. So let's look at the functions of the ear. I know the ear does a lot of things apart from hearing. So what else does the ear do?
Well, the ear basically functions, one in aesthetics. Okay. You've ever seen somebody that doesn't have ears?
They wasn't born with ear?
Of course.
Okay.
Or somebody has an abnormal looking ear. It's a very, very noticeable part of the face.
Yeah.
So apart from that, the big functions are one, hearing, and balance.
All right. Okay.
The hearing is incorporated, like from the outer ear. The outer ear acts as a funnel, so it collects the sound and tunnels it to the middle ear, which amplifies the sound and sends it to the inner ear, where you really have the organ of cortex, that is the sensory part of the ear that hears, before it now transmits it to the brain. So that's about the hearing.
So once you hear something, this is the process. It gathers the sound, takes it to the middle ear,
which amplifies
it. Yes. Okay. Oh wow.
Yes.
That's bringing a lot of thought to my head. Okay. All right.
It's an amplification system.
Okay.
Now, another function is the balance.
Oh.
You know, the body is just like say a ship on the sea.
All right.
You have the rudder that balances the ship. Now, if anything happens to that rudder, something that's called the gyros, the ship cannot stay afloat. So that the same thing is in the ear. There's a little thing in the ear that's called the labyrinth.
Okay.
And you have these semicircular canals around it. That's where you have the balance system of the body. There are other things that support that system, but that's the main thing. It keeps you standing upright. If anything is wrong with it, you see yourself, falling to one side, or everywhere will just be turning around. but you cannot really maintain that balance.
Okay, that turning around, is it the same as feeling dizzy or something, or is it a bit different?
Not exactly.
Okay.
What people call dizziness may just be lightheadedness.
Okay.
But what is called vertigo? Vertigo is like everywhere is turning around. There has to be a subject, something else has to move in relation to you. Either the walls are moving or the ground is moving, but you cannot move. You cannot steady yourself.
So people have that kind of problem.
But of course.
Oh wow.
Some people, they cannot swim, they cannot drive, they cannot operate machinery. It's a very difficult condition to be in.
So you just stay and you can't maintain balance.
Yes.
It means there's a problem
With the ear.
with the ear. So the ear is actually very important. It's more than just hearing.
Actually, it's not the only thing that cares for balance, because you have the peripheral vertigo, which is the one that has to do with the ear. Then they have the central vertigo, which has to do with the brain.
Okay.
But most of the problems that comes with that vertigo is the ear.
I remember when I was doing my international baccalaureate, just before university, one of my teachers, she came and she said she has a problem with her ear. And I just felt, maybe your ear was paining you. And she said, no, I fell in the bathroom. I said, you fell in the bathroom. What has that got to do with the ear? That's when she drew my attention. She said, the ear is for balance. So I lost the balance and I fell down. All right, okay. So people should start thinking more on, when you lose balance, it's something to actually see the doctor about, because it could be a bigger problem.
Yes.
Oh, excellent.
And also some drugs. We take some drugs, certain drugs that can affect the ear.
Okay.
They are called the toxic drugs.
Okay.
But some of them affect the hearing part, and some of them affect the balance
part. Okay. So the two functions of the ear, not all, but the main function is hearing, collect sound and interpret it in the brain.
Exactly.
And then secondly, maintaining balance. So if you're watching and you've been noticing you've not been getting good balance all the time, don't just keep thinking it's malaria or something.
Exactly.
Go to the doctor and check that your ear is okay. All right, okay. That's very, very, very interesting. Okay, so now 460 million people globally. Estimated actually 400, so it could be more than that, that are having some disabling hearing loss. So what's disabling hearing loss?
Actually, the normal ear hears is about 0 to 25 decibels. It varies in certain people. Certain people have very sharp hearing, but it's allowed up to 25 decibels.
Decibel is the measurement for sound.
Decibel is a logarithm scale for measurement of sound. It's based on base 10. Like if you do mathematics, base 10. So if you have 10 means 10 raised to power 1. But when you have 20, that's 10 raised to power 2. 30 is 10 raised to power 3. That means a sound at 0 decibels is just 0 decibels. If a sound at 30 decibels is 1,000 times louder than the sound at 10 decibels. 0 decibels. Yes, that's why it is considered to be like the baseline of hearing problem. So once your hearing level goes as far as 30 decibels, it's classified as mild hearing.
So if a sound is coming at 30 decibels and you can't hear it,
you can hear it at 30.
At 30, all right.
That means they have increased that sound 1,000 times.
Okay, but the basic.
That means you have a problem.
Okay.
So you can imagine people that now hear it at 70 decibels. That is 10 million times louder.
Right.
Yes.
So you have to increase the sound for the person to hear. All right. Okay. So that's the disabling hearing loss. When you're hearing, when you can hear. You can only hear at 30
or above
it. So you're beginning to approach. So the mildest should be the 30, isn't it?
That 30 means you have a problem.
You have a problem. Oh, wow. So how do we measure that? Do we go to the hospital?
There's something called audiometry. The one that is done for adults, the built-in audiometry, for children, the free field audiometry. There are several other things, but they are done by the audiologists.
Okay. Yes. So is it necessary for somebody to just go and say, I want to check?
Oh, yes. Actually, everybody should have a hearing test at least once a year.
I've never done
whether you have a
test
problem or not. You should just go there, check your hearing. Because some people have problems early, and they may not really know that they have problems. There are certain things that may also prompt you to go and do the hearing test. For instance, if you're a mother and you have a little baby, say baby is born immediately, that baby should have some reflexes.
Yeah, when you make some sound.
Yes. But if you notice the baby doesn't make any such startle reflex, there's nothing to suggest that the baby is communicating with the environment. You should be worried. In ideal centers, even in National Hospital, they have what is called the neonatal screening.
Okay.
Once the baby is born, the baby should do the hearing test. Because some problems start before the baby is born.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So some children are born with hearing problems. And you can know that by that neonatal screening. But where it is not available, you can notice that the baby has problems. Maybe you bang a door.
And it doesn't move.
Yes, or there's some loud sound and baby doesn't just start. That startle reflex is very important. That shows the baby is hearing. Then as the baby gets older, maybe 6 months, you use a rattle or you call the baby's name and the baby doesn't even turn or smile, you should suspect that maybe there's a problem. Or there's a rhyme going on, the baby doesn't even
recite after the rhyme or is not even learning.
No, not even recite, just nodding the head. The baby doesn't just react to anything. Then you have to take the baby for some screening.
Okay.
Yes. So they have screening for the babies. They have hearing screening for babies.
Okay.
As well as for adults.
Okay, that's really good to know, because especially for children.
Yes.
Because it can be ignored as an adult. Okay.
No. Before the adult stage, as a young child, if you notice that the child is very stubborn, maybe you call the child, it doesn't answer, you send the child on an errand, the child will just ignore you, you might think the child is stubborn or the child doesn't just care. It may be that the child is not hearing. Or some children don't do well in school. You have to find out, are they hearing what you're saying or what the teacher is saying? Then before you start maybe talking to a child, expecting the child to talk back, just to you, just learning how to talk like a 1-year-old. If you notice that the child is not talking at 1 year, he's not making mommy but daddy, he's not babbling at all, it's time to go and do the screening. The child may not be hearing. Then by the time the child is 3, 4, 5, that's when you now start having other problems like the otitis media with effusion, which is a common problem in those group of children, 2 to 5 years. They have fluid, some kind of fluid behind the eardrum. That fluid is basically there because there's inflammation. Sometimes it's not infected, but sometimes it's infected.
Okay.
Inflammation means and it gathers water. Sometimes there's pain, sometimes there's no pain. And in that age group, you might have what's called glue ear, because that fluid is like gum.
Okay.
So it doesn't allow the bones in the middle ear to do its magnification. That amplification is not done.
Okay. That's what becomes a barrier. Okay.
The fluid is holding back the
sound.
Bones
from
the moving.
Bone. Okay.
And so the child doesn't hear well. And so many things can predispose to that infection. We have a lot of children with allergies, catarrh, they are sneezing. They are prone to having otitis media with effusion.
Okay.
Then children with adenoids, enlarged adenoids, you have this lymphoid follicles or lymphoid aggregations behind the nose.
Okay.
We have what they call the nasopharynx. It's at the back of the nose. So that thing grows there. It's a normal thing, but because it's standing in the wrong place, so it kind of blocks the outlet.
Okay.
I'm trying to say it in the language you understand.
Yeah.
Because the eustachian tube opens from the middle ear to the outside.
Okay.
So when you have adenoids, it kind of covers the eustachian tube. And so the middle ear doesn't really have the air it should have, and so the fluid now starts accumulating there. So part of the treatment may be, if you have a child that's snoring so hard, and having catarrh all the time, get the child checked. Maybe the adenoids are so big, they need to be removed.
Okay.
Just removing the adenoids can ease the ear problem. And the otitis media with diffusion.
So there's also a connection between them, the ear, the nose.
Yes.
There's a good connection between the especially for children. So it's important to take for everybody, of course, that's for everybody. Yes. So it's important to actually notice those. So the constant catarrh and cough and feeling of probably you have stuffy nose or something like that. Yeah. If it's constant, it's something to worry about to go and see the ENT about. Okay.
So if the adenoids are big, part of the indication for surgery is when you start having ear problems. Because after that fluid in the ear, the child will not hear well. And a child that does not hear well cannot do well. Even in school, the academics will suffer. Because the child is not hearing whatever the teacher is saying. So in some cases, you might need to go further and put a grommet. A grommet is like an external eustachian tube.
Okay.
So you put the tube in the middle ear, in the eardrum. So the middle ear now communicates with the outside. So the middle ear now gets enough air.
Okay. Oh, okay.
And so the child will now start hearing. The bones will start moving and the child will be fine.
So once it's discovered, the solution is not as complex as... Yes. Okay, we're going to go on a quick break. When we return, we'll then start... We've talked about some of the symptoms.
We have not talked about adult symptoms.
We'll get onto adult symptoms. And then when we return from the break, we'll be right back, viewers.
Crossfire is a program that treats controversial topics and diverse issues surrounding the church and the society.
Technology drove the inflow or the outbursts of people having Bibles because of printing technology. Same way, the digital revolution has also made it possible for people to have Bibles in various formats in their hands.
As an Anglican, I believe in Anglicanism. And Anglicanism is standing on the tripod of scripture, tradition, and reasoning. When we are about to read the Holy Gospel, all members will be made to stand up. Assuming the Gospeler read from the phone, and he says this is the Gospel of Christ, you are likely to confuse a lot of things. Because people will be seeing phone in your hand.
In the history of Holy Communion, sir, we've never heard that somebody contacted the disease from the other person.
I think, sir, the truth is that when people are gathered together and anything happens, whether it is an earthquake or it is a disease or anything, it spreads faster and there are more fatalities. That's just what I'm talking about.
The first evangelist in the Bible was a woman, the woman of Samaria that Jesus met at the well. Immediately this woman met Jesus. She went into the town and started telling everybody that come and see somebody who told me everything about myself.
The women actually supported the ministry of Christ, supported the ministry of the apostles, but they were never called apostles.
Welcome back, viewers. Before we went on the break, we were discussing care for the ear, and my guest is still Dr. Nsebong Ondi. Thank you very much. We have learned so much. In fact, I think my eye is well opened now on this ear. Sometimes you just think the ear is just there for fancy, but it's not just for decoration. It's doing quite a lot. So we want to then talk about, we just delved into the symptoms, for children, and then younger children as well. But we want to talk about adults. Knowing that you're having issue. How do you know something is wrong with your ear? At least we know the 30, if you're hearing a 30 sound of 30 decibels, then you already have a problem. So what again should an older person be looking at?
If you notice that when people talk, you have to say, pardon, excuse me, what did you say? Or if you go to a meeting and you are now depending on your neighbor to hear what they said, you should check it. Or you notice that if you want to watch TV, you cannot hear what everybody else is hearing. You think the TV is too low, you have to now increase the volume. Or if you notice that you need to really bend your ear to somebody's mouth to hear what the person is saying, or you notice people have to shout for you to even hear anything, then it's time to check it out.
That there's a problem with the ear.
You may not be hearing well.
Well.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And then what would lead, can somebody, of course, I think is as you progress in age, does it have to do with age?
Now, there's a hearing problem that comes with age.
Okay.
What is referred to as presbyacousis. You know, as we grow older, things change. So even in the ear, there are things called hair cells. The hair cells reduce. So after I said at a point, by age 60, about 1 in 4 people may have problem with hearing.
Hearing, okay.
That's presbyacousis. It just comes naturally.
That's natural.
It's a slow progress.
Okay.
Yes. But it's not everybody that has it. That's why I said like 1 in 4. Now, that can be worsened by some things.
Okay.
You know, there are some people that have predisposition. Maybe some people have some familial tendencies.
Okay,
to
so
have problems.
it can be hereditary.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
There are some people that are born with some problems with hearing. There are some hearing problems that are inherited.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
That's why, like in Yoruba land, they have what is called the deaf community. People that are deaf, they also marry deaf people. And some of them continue and they kind of perpetuate that kind of hearing problems. So you see maybe their children or their grandchildren, they're also having problems with hearing.
But as it has to do, how it's looking hereditary, is this reversible? Is this something that can something be done? Because I'm looking,
it's not reversible.
There's nothing you can do. The child must have hearing issues.
Not that you must have. It doesn't have to start from when the child is born. As the child is getting older, it starts manifesting.
Okay.
But I'm trying to say that people should discourage such practices.
Yeah.
Even if you cannot hear, you must not look for somebody else that doesn't hear to marry. You can marry another person that hears well.
Well.
So that you don't continue passing on the genes. That's what I'm saying.
So that you can put
like that deaf community thing, they intermarry
within themselves, so they just maintain the gene of non-hearing, and it just keeps going.
So it's a practice that should be really discouraged.
Okay, so that's when it is hereditary.
Yes.
Okay, then now, this is what the person notices, that his ear is not hearing well, and what's the first thing person should do? Just go to the hospital?
Yes.
Okay.
Go to the hospital, because there are 1,001 reasons why people don't hear. So it's not every hearing problem that is hereditary, you know.
Yeah. Okay.
I told you that some are problems that happen in the womb. So apart from the hereditary, that's the congenital ones.
Yes.
There are some other ones that are caused by the mothers.
So what can a mother do
or not do?
What will she be doing that will make her child then have hearing issue?
I will tell you.
Okay.
You see, some mothers take all sorts of things when they are pregnant. Apart from the drugs they prescribe in the hospital, some will see somebody passing with all these things they drink. I don't know what is inside.
They mix roots
and drink it. You don't know which of those things can be detrimental to the child in the womb. Because the hearing apparatus and every other thing forms very early. By 3 months, 4 months, the child is fully formed.
Oh, yeah.
The child will now start growing. But while the child is forming, you take anything that will affect that child, the child will now be born with the problem. So there are some injections you can't even touch when the child is being formed. In fact, if you can, don't take anything. Except maybe the things that they prescribe in the hospital.
In the hospital.
Yes.
Your normal food and your
normal
healthy lifestyle.
And maybe vitamins and iron, things. Apart from that, don't take any other thing, because some of the things can now destroy the hearing apparatus in the child, in the unborn child.
Okay.
Another thing is, when the mother is pregnant, they're supposed to take vaccines.
The mothers?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like the measles, rubella vaccine. Some people don't take the vaccine. Some mothers don't even have antenatal care. And if a mother has maybe fails to take that vaccine, and that child has a problem, if a mother has a problem like that rubella, it will destroy the child's eyesight, hearing. The child will now be born with a lot of problems. So the mother should take their vaccines as at when due, every vaccine.
Okay.
That will protect the child.
So that's just saying that mothers should take antenatal care seriously.
Very seriously.
In a specialist, in a proper hospital, not
yes.
In a registered hospital rather, not just anywhere, because some of these things are very important. Yeah.
And they should avoid any medicine.
Any medication at that point, yeah.
Even herbs. Yes, because some of them are toxic to the ear.
Alcohol, does it have any? Because that seems to be linked to everything. Alcohol and smoking has effect on everything.
It has. It has, even on the brain. If you see a child that's born to a drunkard mother, the child does not do very well. Some of them are born with withdrawal symptoms.
Wow. This is, I'm amazed at the linkage of the ear to so many things, the damage that could come from just doing the wrong thing.
Yeah.
So mothers should be careful.
Exactly.
When they teach in the antenatal classes and they give you all the care, it's for a reason. So herbal, no form of medication. Herbal, especially in the early stage of, if possible, all through the pregnancy, just stick to what the doctors have given you,
And when the child is very small, maybe in the first year of life, you notice that some children are born with jaundice. Or they have jaundice shortly after birth. Now that jaundice, if it gets to a certain level, the child will develop what is called kernicterus. And you have like brain damage. It will still affect that part of the ear, the brain that has to do with hearing. And so the child will now end up not hearing very well. So early childhood diseases can affect the hearing. Like meningitis. If a child has meningitis, you have to really treat it like an emergency that it is. And after the infection, they should check for the hearing of a child, because meningitis is one thing that really damages the cochlea. Post meningitis, the cochlea can just fuse, and it may be very difficult even to put a cochlear implant in such a child. So you have to do it very fast if the child has a problem with the hearing. Because some children are well until they had one fever and they became unconscious, and then they stopped hearing. And with that, when they stop hearing, they may lose speech. Because there are no more hearing to talk.
Yes, to talk, yes.
You only talk when
what
you can
hear something, yes.
So if a child had meningitis, such a child should have a hearing assessment and should have care. If the child needs a cochlear implant, it should be done very, very fast. If not, it will just fuse and it will be difficult.
Okay, so the bulk of the problem is trying to fix it at the beginning of the life of an individual.
Yes.
Then pretty much the older you get, with time, 1 in 4, like you said, will start having some difficulty in hearing. But there are the other group that it might not just be because it just happened. They could be doing something that has caused this problem with the ear.
The hearing problems, they come in groups. But if I can start from the simplest ones, simplest thing that can cause hearing problem is wax. Wax in the ear.
That wax we always try to clean.
Exactly. Wax is produced by some modified sweat glands. Let me put it like that.
Okay.
You know, the kind of cells that form sweat on the body.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So in the ear, they are specialized and they now produce wax. It's actually something that helps the ear because it has antibacterial, antifungal effect.
The wax itself?
Yes. It's something that is good. It's just that the body cleans it out by itself. The body doesn't need any help to get rid of it.
Okay.
The ear cleans itself.
Okay.
But when we try to now help the ear, we now use cotton bud.
That, in fact, I was thinking I was going to bring a copy of that. This is a stick of cotton bud here.
So when we now use cotton bud, we kind of push it in instead of allowing it to come out by itself. And that continuous action of pushing it in, after some time, the body may just relax and allow you to be doing your own thing. So it will just get impacted inside. That's one way. Another way is some people form too much of it. Just like some people sweat too much. Some people have a lot of wax. So such people, if you identify yourself as such, should get to an ENT surgeon. Let them help you to remove it. There are several ways of doing that. One of it is we soften it. There's a wax softness.
Okay.
Ceromos, and Waxol, there are other ones. Okay. So the doctor will give it to you, instill it.
Okay.
Several times a day. It softens the wax and it can easily be removed either by suction or by washing. There's a specialized way of washing it. You cannot just carry a syringe and pump the air. No. They are trained people. They are ENT nurses, ENT doctors. They are trained on how to syringe the ear. Because if you just push the syringe into the ear and push the fluid, you can just rupture the eardrum.
Whoa.
Yes. So
that's a bigger problem.
So the cotton bud in itself is to be discouraged.
So why is everybody all about this cotton bud? Because if you see, it is like one of the most sold household items.
It's not meant to be used to clean the ear.
Okay.
There are other things it can do. Maybe like a baby, you have this fold on the ear. There are folds.
Okay, yes.
If you use cotton bud, you can maybe clean out the folds well.
Oh, right. Okay.
But not to use it inside the canal, no. Or maybe in the nose, you can maybe see something like a crust. You can use it and remove it, but not to be pushed right inside, no.
So nothing should be put into the ear to clean it.
At all.
Even biro cover or pen cover,
Even cotton buds, they can introduce infections.
Oh, yeah.
Like fungus. That's biro cover, matchsticks, feathers.
Yes, feathers.
Some people use, she has a feather.
Yeah, I don't know.
And she uses it to itch her ear. If the ear is itchy, it is either there's allergy, there's dirt, like wax can be itchy sometimes, or there's fungus.
Okay.
Or there's some form of dermatitis. Called seborrheic dermatitis can also happen in the ear.
Okay, we're going to go on a break now, the second break, and when we return, I want us to talk more on the wax and then talk about earphones and sound and all of that. We'll discuss all of that when we come back from the other areas on why people are having issues with their hearing. We'll be right back to yours.
Did you know Jesus said, "Go ye therefore and teach all nations, baptizing them in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Ghost"? Did you know ACNN reaches out to all African, European, and Asian countries? Did you know ACNN produces programs that provides Bible-based solutions to your everyday need? Would you consider partnering with us in order to help us reach out to more souls? Then, become a part of ACNNTV Kingdom Investment Partnership. You can be a monthly or a yearly partner. To subscribe, make your partnership payment into this Zenith Bank account. For more details and confirmation of your AKIP subscription, please call +234 703 2656 544. You can also reach us via email. Together, we can reach the world with the undiluted Word of God.
Welcome back, viewers. Before we went on the break, we were discussing care for the ear, and Dr. Nsebong Undi is still here with us. Thank you so much. We've learned so much today, but we're still going to stay on this wax. Wax. I'm sure everybody at home, they're just saying wax, cleaning my ear. You mean I can't use cotton bud to clean my ear? So let's go over that talk again. The dangers of using the cotton bud to clean the cotton bud, barrel cover, the feathers, you know,
matches,
matches to clean
matches,
the ear.
Toothpick.
What? Toothpick?
Of course.
That's hard.
Use all sorts of things.
Oh, so the danger, what's the problem with it, you know, cleaning the ear? Because sometimes you see it come. Let me tell a story. I think when I was younger, I was having this terrible ear pain. It pained for days, I couldn't sleep. Then we went to the hospital, and it was the general doctor. He just brought one thing. There's one machine, one thing like that. And it put, I think it was peroxide or so. And then they pulled out some long wax looking, I think the wax had thickened or something. Yeah. And immediately he brought it out. I had complete relief. It was so instant. If I didn't even need any painkiller, that was the end of the pain for the ear, you know. So which means, and then I felt, because they've removed that, I should be cleaning my ear every day so that I don't have that kind of deposit in my ear, you know. So, and here I am hearing that I'm not even supposed to do all of that. Yeah.
It is not every deposit in the ear that is wax.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
So the cotton bud is not designed to remove wax, so to say.
Okay.
It can push the wax inside. It can puncture the ear. It can introduce infection, and if you have fungal infection in the ear, it's not a very easy thing to treat. Now there can be other deposits in the ear apart from wax. There's what is called keratosis obturans. In keratosis, there's a skin, dead skin, that is deposited inside the canal. Yes, it is a problem. It's meant to be removed, but it is better for somebody else to remove it, like a doctor.
Okay.
Yes, it's not you cannot really remove it by yourself. So if you have any problem, maybe like you feel this heaviness in the ear, you feel as if there's water in the ear, or you feel as if the ear is just stuffed up with some things, it's better you get it checked.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It may just be wax.
Okay. So when you get to the hospital, they know how to clean the wax from the ear.
They'll use something, an instrument like oroscope, to look at the ear.
Okay.
They can use a microscope. It depends on what the problem is. There are several things, several ways of looking at the ear.
So cotton bud should not be put close to the ear.
At all.
Nothing
should enter the ear.
Nothing should be.
That is smaller than your elbow.
Okay.
If your elbow can enter the ear.
Okay.
Anything that is smaller
than the elbow
should not go to your ear.
That's a wise way of saying never put anything in your ear.
Yes,
never. Okay, I know my viewers are watching. Never put anything in the ear. It's don't clean it. Don't but you know, when you finish having your shower in the morning, you always feel like there's water deposits around.
The feeling of having water in the ear can be infection.
Okay.
When people say that they feel as if there's water, some people even put water inside.
Yes, and then they say pour water and turn and remove the...
That one is not useful.
Okay.
Yes, you don't need to do that at all. But if you have that feeling that there's water in your ear, go and check it. It may be a problem with the eustachian tube. Yes.
When it's persistent,
yes.
Yeah, okay.
The eustachian tube also presents like that. The eustachian tube problems present like there's water in the ear, or you can't hear well, or it sounds so distant.
Okay, so the two things now, why we shouldn't put anything in our ear you might be pushing in the wax further down, or you might be putting might be infection, because of course whatever you're using has touched everywhere. Then you go put it in your ear.
They call it sterile, but is it really sterile?
What is sterile really?
I mean,
what is, how many things are sterile? You say after you've moved it in the air and put it in your ear, you could still introduce this thing. Sometimes you put in your mouth, which carries a lot of in your ear and things. So I understand. Okay, that's very true. Now, we're still talking about these 460 million people who are having issues.
There's something else I want to talk about.
Okay, please go ahead.
Two things. Noise-induced hearing loss is on the increase.
Noise-induced?
Ototoxicity, yes. So I won't talk much about the presbyacousis. That's the hearing loss that comes with age.
Okay.
But noise-induced hearing loss is on the increase because if you go around, you will notice some people, especially young people, they put earphones and they will be blasting the music very loud. That exposes their cochlea to a lot of noise. And I said loud noise kills the hair cells. And so their hair cells will now start a downward trend even before they get old. Some people that work in all these telephone booths, these, maybe Airtel, MTN, they don't really know how to protect the ear. So they should protect their ears. They should have the earmuffs that reduce the sound.
Okay.
And if they are not on duty, they should not put that earphone all day. Putting earphones on all day is damaging to the ears. Yes, some people even put it all night. They listen to the music till they wake up.
Wow.
They're just blasting away their hair cells. And with time, because it takes time to show, you may use it throughout 1 month, you may not feel anything. But just give it a year, you'll notice that you cannot hear very well. Or if you're an entertainer, or you sing in the choir, or you're exposed to loud sounds anywhere, like the soldier, they're in the shooting range, that's their job. But they have to protect their ears. You're in the market, you're grinding something.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. People that are in where machines are running all the time. I know they have this.
They are supposed to have.
You have this
ear muffs.
Yes.
The people that are conductors in the parks, or people that sell CDs, video or music CDs, they blast it, and they expose everybody around to loud sound. Those are very easy ways of destroying the ears.
But in this our environment, it's quite tricky because sometimes you have generator. I mean, there are some plazas you enter.
Not even plaza.
And you can't even hear even a house. Yeah.
Yes.
You can't even hear. You can't even hear a gunshot.
Maybe in a block of flats, you have 12 flats and 12 people have generators.
12 generators, and it's noisy, and you have to sleep through that noise.
Yes.
And it means you in fact the lifespan of your hearing will be reduced drastically.
So those are the things that are really causing the number of people with hearing problems to increase. Noise-induced hearing, and it's a preventable thing because you can regulate the sound. Even if it is your job, you can wear the ear protection.
Okay, there's a little one they give you in the plane sometimes that you insert.
Just seal it.
It's into the ear. Yeah, you can use that, especially if you're living in an environment where there are so many generators. You can get that. So you have to be intentional about caring for your ear.
Yes. And if you have any ear problem, you have to avoid ototoxic drugs. Ototoxic drugs are drugs that do further damage to the ear. I talked about the hearing part and the balance part.
Yes.
There's some drugs that if you take it, they will just damage the ear. You now start hearing something like ooh, or shh. Those are noise that is generated within the ear itself. Nothing else is making noise, but you're just hearing that noise. When you start hearing that noise, maybe you're going to, maybe you're taking some drugs. You just started day one and you start hearing the noise, stop the drug. Go and tell the doctor, this is what I'm hearing. The doctor will change it. And in fact, when you're in a place where there's very loud sound, the earliest sound, the earliest sign of ear problems may be that noise. So that noise may just be warning you that something is not right. Move away from the sound. The sound is too loud. Yes.
Because you're hearing the
yes.
constant,
just persistent, constant sound. Sometimes it goes away, but sometimes it doesn't. And then you now add that to drugs. Drugs like maybe chloroquine, chloramphenicol. There are so many drugs. Genticine. So before you take any drug, if you have hearing problem, you can tell the doctor, so the doctor can juggle it around.
Okay.
Yes.
So when you notice something unusual with the ear,
yes,
you know, unusual pain, and but sometimes even I think I even have that sometimes. I have pain, but sometimes I can't tell if it's my teeth or my ear.
No. The pain that is in the ear is not always from the ear. That's what is called referred-otalgia. The pain is basically somewhere else, but it goes to the ear because there are some nerves that connect the ear, the throat, the teeth, and the jaw. They'll have nerves that connect them somehow to the ear. So if you have toothache, you will have a lot of ear pain. But it doesn't mean your ear has problem. Yes.
Because I struggle to figure out where exactly this pain comes from. After some time, it just goes.
That's referred pain.
Referred pain.
Yes. It's just like say someone has transferred aggression.
Okay.
So the aggression is now showing up in the ear, but the main problem is the tooth. So you have to, if you want to take care of that pain, you must take care of the primary problem. Yes.
All right. So, just like you said in the beginning, it's good to check your ear at least once a year. At least once a. From what age do you advise? I don't know if children want to be taking them every year to go and, or do you think is that an age you can start considering?
If you do that neonatal screening, then if you notice any abnormal thing, maybe your child is not paying attention in school or is not answering you on time, check the ear.
Check the ear.
Then as you grow older, that's why I say at least visit the doctor once a year.
Once a year.
Let the doctor look inside, be sure everything is fine, check your hearing level. Before you take a job that exposes you to a lot of sound, maybe like all these telephone operators, do your hearing test. At least have a baseline. So that if along the line you start having problems, you can refer to it. And also if you are taking any medicines, there are some people that must take some medicines. There are some people maybe they have cancer, they have HIV.
You can have cancer of the ear.
No, I mean like they have cancer
for any other part of the ear.
Yes. They are put on drugs. Some of those drugs can also have effect on hearing. So sometimes I have to check your baseline hearing level before you start those drugs. Then if along the line notice that your hearing level is coming down, there may be some modifications or some other drug that might help the ear to cope. They have drugs that can be given that will improve the blood supply to the ear. That will really help the ear.
Yes. Okay, now hearing aids for people.
Mostly, yes.
Yeah, for people that are older, I think, or it's no longer for people because these people are listening to very loud things and damaging their ear.
Exactly. So even some young people need it.
Wow.
Yes. There are different ones, but basically it improves the hearing.
Okay.
Like that decibel I talked about, maybe if you're hearing at 70 decibels, for instance, it may make it up to 40. And you hear loud sound,
loud sound, yeah.
But if you are hearing at like 50 decibels, of course, it will just take it to 20, so you hear like a normal person.
So, but it doesn't reverse the damage you have done if you're using hearing aids.
Actually, we're talking about damage. Some damage may be reversible, depends on maybe like the drug.
The drugs, okay.
But some are irreversible. So even if you stop the drug, you cannot really undo the damage. But for the hearing aids, it improves the hearing level, but it's not even every type of hearing problem that can be helped with hearing aids. Because the hearing aids will just take it up by like 30 decibels. I've talked about 30 being like 1,000 times.
Yes,
if you have somebody that's maybe not hearing or is hearing at 100 decibels, you know that person
you're almost not hearing.
It's not even hearing aid cannot help because the hearing aid will just take it to like 70 decibels and the person still will not hear. So for that level of hearing, if it is a baby, even some adults, you advise them to get cochlear implant
Wow.
They are very expensive, but we are hoping that the government should be able to do something.
Now, before the government interfere, maybe we should start caring for our ear more so that it won't become victims of this problem. Now, let me just talk a little bit about the earphones. You know, they are the earphones that you hang on the outside. Not
whether you hang on the outside or put it inside, as long as you're blasting the sound, it will eventually get to the hair cells and will destroy it.
Even the phones now warn you. When it gets to a level, they will tell you, look, after this level, you're going above the normal required, this approved, I think, hearing decibel or something it says, and then you have to leave it there and all that. I've learned a lot today about the ear because it's amazing. You know, when I was preparing for this program, I was thinking, what am I going to talk about in the ear? It's just the ear. It's just there. But what you see outside.
Another thing I want to point out, because we're seeing a lot of them. People piercing their ears. One person can have like 12 holes on the ear. The problem is that when you puncture the cartilage, there may be problems.
That's this top part. You know, it's a bit it's tougher than this other part.
Yes. This other part, there may also be problems. Like in the black person, especially in the black person. The white person also have it. They can develop what's called keloids. It's an abnormal kind of healing. So you don't get it if you puncture your ear at day one. No baby gets it.
Yes, that's true.
But if you puncture your ear even 5 days after, I've seen it in a baby that had ear piercing like 5 days after. So if you puncture your ear at day one, you won't have problem. But you see nowadays people puncture their ear in so many places and they put so many rings there. Sometimes it gets infected. Or sometimes the ear can become deformed. It's what is called cauliflower ear. Cauliflower ear, the cartilage shrinks. And when it shrinks, it is abnormal.
Because of piercing?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Because it will first of all form like an abscess. That abscess takes away the nutrients from the cartilage. Because the cartilage itself cannot have its own nutrients. It gets its nutrients from the skin. So when there's abscess formation or there's blood, you know, it takes away that nutrient, and so the cartilage dies, and when it dies, it shrinks. So you now have to go for some kind of plastic procedure, you know, to correct it. It's not necessary.
Okay, so just leave the one piercing you have from birth, and
or you don't have to.
You don't even have to. Yes, you don't even have to.
Piercing the ear so many times, to me, doesn't prove anything. Although it's a personal choice, some people prefer it like that.
But medically, it's advised not to.
Yes.
Not to just.
I'll just advise them not to, because it is not necessary. And if it is infected, it is very difficult to treat. Yes.
A lot. So not only the inside are you caring for, you also might be mindful of the outside. But it's okay to wash your ear outside, you know, just to clean it. You know, maybe with the board, the cotton board, you're not putting it inside. You're just cleaning around the.
If you need to.
If you need to, you don't mind need to.
Yes.
Okay.
So people really need to care for their ears. If you have any abnormal swelling around the ear, because some people are born with a little hole in front of the ear.
Yes.
Now that little hole may not give a problem, but in some cases it does. Don't try to treat it yourself. Get to a doctor. Might need the surgery to take care of it.
To take care of it. Okay.
Yes.
I think we've talked so much. we've talked for I think 50 minutes now. We've been talking, and I've learned a whole lot today. I think you're going to come back and we'll talk about the nose. I think I'll be very surprised at what I'll learn about the nose and maybe the throat as well, so that we just know that we know about this part of our body, you know. But it's really wonderful. I've learned so much today about the ear, and I know my viewers have learned a lot today.
Can I say one more thing?
Okay.
If you must beat a child, don't slap his ear. Yes, because a slap is just like a bomb blast. So it carries that force and punctures the eardrum, and sometimes can dislocate the bones inside the ossicles, and it might have a more damaging effect than you meant to.
So don't slap a child. In fact, don't slap anybody.
In fact, don't slap anybody.
Don't slap anybody.
Because I've seen people in boarding houses, you know, bullying. They've damaged some eardrums. I've seen even some men in the armed forces. They've ruptured some eardrums. So there's no...
Wow.
Slap is not a means of punishment.
It's not a good one, even for anybody. I think that's why we end the talk today. Please don't slap anybody, or don't slap your child. Even if you want to punish your child, don't slap him, because it could be causing more damage than the correction you're trying to make. Thank you so much, Dr. Nse. It's so wonderful to have you. And you're coming back to talk about the nose and the throat. All right. So thank you so much, viewers, for staying with us. I've been speaking to Dr. Nsebong Ondie. She is an ENT, that's ear, nose, and throat surgeon at the National Hospital, Abuja. I believe we have learned so much about the ear. I've learned so much, and I believe you have. I'll see you next time. My name is Angela Mweze. Goodbye.